Today I will show you how you can set up your IVR with BABELFORCE. It's very simple, but it gives you the possibility to set up any IVR you want, and it will help you to create the call experience for your customer and the call experience you need. So let me introduce you to this powerful little module in the BABELFORCE Manager app with a little example. So for instance, we have Switzerland, a multilingual country, and your service provides assistance both in German and French. So in the case we are looking at today, the customer calls in and is asked, hey, if you want to talk to a German agent, please press 1, and if you want to talk to a French-speaking agent, please press 2. So let me show you what you need first. As I said before, you need the input reader. The input reader plays the prompt and defines a variable, and with this variable the system knows with a second application what to do next. But let me start with the input reader. You go into application. For instance, you know you only have 2 choices, so you know that inputs should be maximum 1 digit long. Minimum is 1, maximum is 1. You can also choose what key the customer presses after they finished their input. You don't have to choose any, as I don't do anything in this case, but you can. Next thing is the timing. You have a read timeout. So this is the time the system waits until the customer made their choice. If you only have, for instance, in like this case, 2 choices, I think you can choose a rather short time. But imagine you have 10 different choices, so you might want to give the customer a little longer time to think about it. The barge delay is another very interesting part. This defines how much time the customer have to make their choice in the system. The prompt starts, it says, hi, welcome, please choose your language. In this case, if I put in 0 in barge delay, the customer can press a choice long before the prompt is finished. Choose barge delay 0 if you want to enable the customer to make that choice right away. Then we have a little behavior part. You can say how many retries the customer can make. You can also say that we ignore no input, just nothing happens. In this case, it's not happening. And this is what I said before, we're gonna create a variable. This is actually very important. We need variables as they store the input. I'll show you why it's important. You define the afterflow with your second application, but I come to that later. Under prompts, you define the welcome prompt and the prompt that says please choose XYZ. And you can also put in any prompt if wrong selection was made or no match was recognized. You press save as always, and the next thing you're gonna need is triggers. You're gonna need 2 triggers. In our case, of course, you can have as many matches as you want, and for these triggers you need the variable we just defined. So as I said in the beginning, for 1 we have German as selection. So what you do, you go into the expression list and you scroll down after the Q. You go down to voice application, and here in this part you're gonna find your variable. You can call it whatever you want. In my case, I call this CH language, and I say is equal to 1. In this case, it's the German input. And for French, as already discussed, we should have the expression 2. It's exactly the same as the German one, just it reads out the 2 if it was pressed. So now we can go back and look at the second application. And the second application checks the input that was stored in the variable. So again, we go to application. And it's important, it's a switch node. We go to application and we add 2 triggers. The 1 trigger checks if the German trigger applies. So if 1 was pressed. In this case, just in my specific call flow, I'm gonna forward the customer to the German IVR. In the second case, we have the French input. So it checks did the customer press 2. And if so, the application forwards to the French IVR. That's it. This is how you create an input reader. Give it a try.